Welcome back to this edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you like I love to do at the very least 3 days a week over the digital airwaves of YouTube. I got to get back to the Will Smith topic that I tackled because it created some noise, as most things that I usually do. It's just the way it goes for me. I'm not here to apologize for anything, but I am here to clarify because I want to make sure that everybody understands where I was coming from. When I spoke Friday about Will Smith and the new Bad Boy movies, the Bad Boys Ride or Die movie coming out with him and Martin Lawrence that had been out for a couple of days. First things first, our initial reporting was stating that it was coming up short compared to what it had done numbers-wise in the past at the box office for Bad Boys 1, 2, and 3. Well, it turns out that this was a very productive weekend for Bad Boys Ride or Die. And Martin Lawrence and Will Smith deserve a boatload of credit for that because they got people returning to the movie theaters. So that was a huge, huge plus, and we can't ignore that. And let's give props where props is due. But I want to get more specific into what my take is before I have my boy on. Even though we're both in a similar venue, we're right near one another. I was having some technical difficulties, so he's going to be in a separate room because we down here in Florida, but he's right here in the same vicinity as me. I just got him in a separate room, and I'll let you see who he is in a second. Let me say this to y'all. I don't know if I'll ever get over what Will Smith did to Chris Rock. But that doesn't mean I have to. And it doesn't mean that it's a license for me to negatively impact Will Smith. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock was a devastating thing. I'm not talking just for Chris Rock, who's a friend of mine. I'm talking for the black community because obviously Will Packer was the first black producer to be doing the Oscars in its history. And that was a devastating blow to him. Will Smith came out with Emancipation a year later for Apple and all of that stuff. Will Smith was sensational in that movie. So was Antoine Fuqua, the esteemed director and producer extraordinaire. One could easily argue that both of them would have won an Oscar for that, and that Will slap cost Will Smith and Antoine Fuqua an Oscar. That's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about black folks everywhere aspiring to be in this business, aspiring to succeed, and something like that happens and it was a blemish on all of us. Because I know how much white America reveres Will Smith. And the thinking along the lines in my mind was, hell, if he did that, what would the rest of us do? There are certain things that happen in the lives of an individual where those incidences are used as a license to castigate the rest of us. And that's what I was thinking about when I said what I said Friday about being torn as to wanting to go see the movie but not wanting to see Will Smith. I wasn't encouraging anybody else not to do it. I was just saying that I was having trouble dealing with it. And then I got a call from my man Charlie Mack. Charlie Mack is Will Smith's former security, good friend of Will Smith, closely connected to Will Smith for decades. I've known Charlie Mack for nearly 30 years. I got a lot of love for him. And he was on fire, calling me because he disagreed with my opinion and was going back and forth with me about it. And then he caught me because he says, Stephen A., what about Grace? What about Grace? This is how he feeds his family. This is how he earns his living. He don't have a right to earn a living ever again. He can't make a mistake, Stephen A., when he never made a mistake before. That's a damn good point. Bigger point he made was Martin Lawrence. Because we all look at Martin Lawrence. If you watch Martin from back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, you can't find nobody that loved Martin Lawrence more than me. That brother is brilliant. That brother has done nothing but create laughs and laughter for us for decades. We should all revere him. And he's the one that brought Will Smith on to Bad Boys. And Will Smith's still doing Bad Boy movies with him because you know he damn sure ain't trying to do it with anybody else. That's love right there. That's loyalty right there. And then you got to take into account the inordinate amount of people who work on a movie and how they're employed and how they have opportunities. And all because Will Smith is doing what he's doing. And then you got to take into account the fact that throughout Will Smith's life, not just his career, there has been exponentially far more good than bad. And I certainly did not mean to gloss over that. I didn't mean to act like that wasn't reality, that that didn't happen. And so I really appreciate my man, my brother, Charlie Mack, for calling me and passionately making that case to remind me of what Will Smith is, who he is, and what he has meant to all of us. You see black people gravitating to him. I'm getting text messages and emails all over the place. Who said he lost our support? He never lost it. We didn't like what he did. It was unfortunate what he did. But damn it, we love Will Smith and we forgive him. You don't hear Chris Rock talking about it and complaining about him. Eventually they'll meet and they'll talk, Stephen A. We heard all of that. So I got to stand down. And then I saw this video right here, y'all. Take a look at this. And that just elocutes my point even better.
We're in Baldwin Hills. We're about to go in the theater. It's a ritual I have. I do it like whenever a movie come out. On Friday, Saturday, and usually a matinee on Sunday, I go into theaters.
Damn, I'm gonna let that motherfucker cook the chicken.
Hey, I'm glad y'all enjoyed that. That was a good program.
That was Will Smith at the Baldwin Hills movie theater in LA. You saw how fans swarmed him? You saw all them black people swarming him? Because he's still loved. He's loved by all of us. He's loved by me, still. As salty as I am about what happened and the effect that I thought and still think to some degree that it could have on us in the industry. But I really appreciate Charlie Mack checking me on that.